Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. Another nice morning. We're into a string of, very beautiful days here coming up. A very little chance of rain, which is causing, again, a scarcity of water. So there is a call out for some conservation, keeping in mind that we're under drought conditions here in Monroe County as well as Miami-Dade. So please do conserve and do your part there. We're going to say good morning to George Garrett. He is the city manager for the city of Marathon. Good morning, George. How are you, sir?
Good morning. Just hitting your last point there. I have my cistern, and I have to say I had to fill it up the other day because, in fact, it hasn't been raining very much, but I use it routinely. The water, the things in my yard and my orchid house. So
yeah,
it's a good thing to supplant the aqueduct water.
Absolutely, it is. The cistern's a great idea. I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. You always set a fine example. I know that for sure. So, George, you were in Tallahassee with a contingent of folks from Marathon and from around the county, municipalities included, for Florida Keys Day, but also for meetings and sit-downs with a number of different policymakers. So tell us about the journey.
Well, it was, first of all, I want to, we go up there every year, and I want to thank former state rep Holly Rushine and current county commissioner. This is her legacy with her leadership Monroe County class, and so it's an annual event. It's something that typically happens in the early parts of session, the legislative session. And it gives us all a chance to get up there and speak our minds concerning the issues of the Florida Keys. And, important because I think we've always felt that going up there as a group is going to be important to, to the overall mission, which we all share from Key West to Key Largo.
Mm-hmm. And George, I was just going to say, I did not realize that Florida Keys Day was a product of Leadership Monroe and former Representative Holly Rushine. Of course, she gave us the stewardship funds in that act as well. But Leadership Monroe certainly is involved in a lot of different things. We had a discussion with Michelle Neville, who's in Leadership Monroe class 33 triple threat. But so many contributions. Just as a quick aside, I know you're heavily involved with Leadership Monroe, but I did not realize that Florida Keys Days came from that.
Yeah, I get to be the president actually right now. So,
like I said, heavily involved. Yes,
sir. So a plug for, because everybody I think should in fact apply if you're. Well, frankly, if you're an upcoming leader or if you're an existing leader.
It's anyway, great Florida program. Keys, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a great program. Yes. Everything that is said in the Everglades stays in the Everglades. But I think we had a great time up there. Met with the appropriations chair. Certainly, both of our legislators here, Ana Maria Rodriguez and Jim Mooney, met with the governor's office, and we met with the Department of Commerce. Also had a little time with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection.
Mm-hmm.
So
big
what topics. I think we got to we really pushed with Department of Commerce and with governor's office the need to modify the city's memorandum of understanding concerning those permits that it typically issues or renders to the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. And of course, under area of critical state concern, legally, we have to render 100% of our development orders or building permits. Typically under an MOU, we've agreed that we don't want to render them all. Don't need to render a fence, don't need to render a sidewalk, that sort of thing. And, we had a modification in our MOU as part of a legal action that the state took with us on a development agreement some 5 years ago now. And it's hamstrung, I think, us and them, frankly, a little bit, because some of the things that are still in that MOU really don't make sense. And I can point to a specific. We issued a permit recently for the city's pickleball court behind City Hall.
Yes.
No issues at all there. And yet we had to run to that permit, and we will probably wait virtually 60 days before we can start actual construction of that project. So, we want to kind of rectify some of these things. And, very positive response out of the state, both at the Department of Commerce and at the governor's office. Met with Cody Farrell at the governor's office, and he was spectacular and very supportive. So that was one of our big issues. And of course, we literally, I think, let's say Wednesday morning, we're meeting with people. We're in the Capitol building and down in the cafeteria and watched Representative Mooney get the Stewardship Act through one of its first, committee meetings, and it passed 100% to increase, or with 100% vote, unanimous vote, to extend the Stewardship Act out another 10 years.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
So we wouldn't have to go back each and every year for the 10-year period then?
Well, we wouldn't have to go back and I'm going to say beg for its continuance.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that we would be appropriated money every year. It does mean we would have to go and beg for money, but and I mean that in the best way. But we would have to make our case that there are still issues in the Keys that need to be funded under stewardship. So that was fantastic, and we've done very, very well in stewardship for the last 2 or 3 years. $20 million a year split between the jurisdictions for at least the last 3. And that's fantastic. And we expect the same this year, or at least we believe that's coming forward.
So that has to make it all the way through to the governor's desk in the budget, though, as an appropriation?
Ultimately in the budget, yes. So that'll be in the session. That's actually another thing I want to say about, the going up to Florida Keys Day. I think, I've had 2 or 3 people kind of imply that did you come back with money? No. But the other side of that is we argued hard for it. And the realities of begging, asking for money and making our argument that it's needed, whether it's us or whether it's the other jurisdictions, is we have to make a good argument. And then ultimately that ends up in a budget. And the budget doesn't get approved until the House approves it, Senate endorses it, and then the governor's office further endorses it and ultimately signs it. So that's at the end of the process. And so going up there for Florida Keys Day, basically 2 weeks into session, only comes back with good tidings, I think. And I believe, had good tidings. Everybody was supportive. Everybody was responsive that we met with. And I think we're going to fare well this year. But until the end of session, we won't. We don't have any guarantees.
Yeah, George, and I was going to say too, just networking and relationship building. It's a lot harder for those in power to say no to people they don't know, but it's much more difficult when we have a relationship and also have an understanding of our needs here in the Keys. How many years have you been going to Tallahassee in this process?
Oh, honestly. I have to do another presentation here this morning. In fact, in about 45 minutes, and I'm going to go in and find out when Holly first did this. But it's been at least 15 years that I've been involved, and I've been at the city for just about that long.
Yeah.
So, 15 years.
My point being, you have relationships now. You must start to see some of the same people. And, I think they have an understanding over time as to what our needs are, hopefully. But this process is necessary for that.
Well, and one of the things, too, stewardship does well. As I said, I think we've done well in arguing our case to modify the MOU. And then the third thing I would point to in our ventures to Tallahassee is that we have a special appropriations request in this year.
Yes.
And that special appropriations would help us fund specifically our deep well project. And we asked for that specifically as a set aside for us. City of Marathon as opposed to our piece of the Stewardship Act. And of course, we hope we get funded in both. But it's just one of those things. The Stewardship Act is the deep well is costly. It's going to anything we can do to minimize the actual impact on our ratepayers is critical. We're also looking at the federal government, so we'll see where we go. But I would say that the first meeting we had was with the appropriations chair for the House, and that was Mr. Broder's office, and then just out of coincidence, the Senate president ran into me and said, "George," and I turned around to see him standing there, and I was able to make a plea to him to help us out with this project, and he was supportive. So I think we did a lot in that regard to move ourselves forward this year.
Yeah. How much more additional funding are we looking for the deep well?
On advice of our lobbyists who understand the process, I think the easy answer is ask for everything you want. And then the hard answer is, yeah, but you're not going to get it. And the way to best do that with our legislators is ask for a reasonable amount. So we definitely outlined what we need, and we asked for $5 million this year and indicated that we would be back in the next 2 or 3 years. And there is, when you fill these forms out, is this a 1-year request or is this a multi-year request? And of course, we said it would be ultimately a multi-year request.
George Garrett with us, City Manager, City of Marathon on Good Morning Keys. Now, I had heard that the House does have their budget. Of course, it could always change. The Senate, last I heard, they had not approved a budget as of yet to advance forward. Are you aware as to whether that has occurred yet?
I'm not, actually.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I came back from Tallahassee with a cold, and I have to say that I've been laying low in my office or in my house. Right?
Well,
doing my work.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, I sensed that a little bit. I was speaking with Council Member Landry yesterday, and he said, and you had mentioned it too. You came back with goodwill, not necessarily bearing money just yet, but a lot of requests out for it. But somebody brought back maybe a little bit of flu and colds back to City Hall, unfortunately. So,
actually, but we're coming up. We obviously should have a council meeting this evening, and 3 of us are actually out. 3 senior members of, and I think Steve Williams, our attorney, may have recovered mostly, but I know he had it too. So there was 4 of us that potentially weren't going to be in the meeting tonight. We decided to postpone until the 24th, which would be a normal workshop day.
That's right. Okay. Well, the 24th it is. Do not try to attend the meeting tonight because it is been postponed. Indeed. So sounds like a productive trip once again. And I've said it many times, but I think we're very fortunate to have leadership in Monroe County that understands the legislative process, and Commissioner Rashine certainly intimately understands that process, having served there for 8 years. You have been through the process many times, serving as the City of Marathon manager. So now it's we've done what we can. Now it's kind of a wait and see and stay in contact with Representative Mooney and Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez. But it seems like they are well equipped to continue the fight on our behalf.
Well, and we walk away from Florida Keys Day, we fly away, but it doesn't stop there. And I was texting with our lobbyists yesterday and said we can't forget this. We met with Cody Farrell in the governor's office. He's chief of staff. And please remind him that he was going to help us get our MOU, our Memorandum of Understanding with Department of Commerce changed. And one of the response from one of our lobbyists was, happened to run into him in the rotunda of the Capitol, and I reminded him today. And that was, of course, yesterday. But so it is an ongoing process. It doesn't stop because we were there last week. It will continue until session is over. Last year, I'm trying to remember, I believe it was Senate Bill 180. which of course was the bill that got all of us the 900 units.
Yes.
And I literally was on the phone with one of our lobbyists until less than 5 minutes before the gavel sounded for the end of session. So it doesn't end until it ends, and end of session. And we've got a few more weeks of that.
Yeah, we do. And sometimes the session gets extended beyond that as well. So like last year. So very good. Well, I know you've got a busy agenda to get to, and you've got a meeting to prepare for, and you need to get some rest and get well also. So anything else we should mention at this point, George?
No, I think we're good. I appreciate it. And just thanks again, reminding people that it's not tonight for the city council meeting. It'll be the 24th, and we'll re-advertise, accordingly. And please come then.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for being here as well. And feel better very soon, George. We appreciate your dedication, leadership, and expertise as well. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
George Garrett is city manager, City of Marathon. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We're back in just a bit.
Making memories for you and your sweetie is very easy. Wanda Kiefer, our trusted friend in travel, can do this for you. All Seasons Vacations. The website is allseasonsvacations.net, allseasonsvacations.net. This afternoon, we're talking Valentine's Day and how easy it is to go together with your sweetie or on one of the group trips that Wanda has put together. Here she is. Good morning, Wanda.
Good morning, everybody in the Keys. I love it. I hope they're nice and warm. Well, they are nice and warm because they're in the Keys.
So
that's where I'm going
to. And it gets even warmer. Jamaica, Bahamas, Curacao. But the experience is what I want to get at, Wanda. The food, the swim-up bar, the beverages. You can swim with the piggies. We can go release some turtles. We got dolphins. We got water skiing. There's all sorts of things that are going to be memory makers, and that's really what it's all about with you and your sweetie. We're going to talk about that this afternoon at 4:31, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And we got some great Valentine's Day deals going on and rolling out to offer you.
And when we talk about the food and we talk about the beverages and we talk about the experiences, this is what we're going to focus in on this afternoon. You know, you've been together for a good amount of time, and flowers are great. Don't get me wrong. Candy, outstanding. But taking those pictures and having pictures taken of you on property or out for an excursion, maybe you're on a catamaran up to Dunn's River, these kind of memories. You look at that phone again, you can't wait to go back again and again. And I think that speaks volumes to you, Wanda. You have repeat customers. After one, they keep coming back to you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And, we get this all the time where they're on property and they go and visit our loyalty and travel desk there, and they book that next vacation because they're having the time of their life. And they're thinking, gee, I really want to do this again, but maybe I want to do it in a different island. Or I want to do it at a different Sandals resort, and we can take care of all that for you as well.
So this afternoon at 4:31, we'll visit with Wanda Kiefer. We'll talk about Valentine's solutions. Very easy. But look at allseasonsvacations.net right now. Allseasonsvacations.net. Sandals and beaches and tropical destinations and memories. Let me tell you something. They're going to be memories you can't wait to relive again and again and go back again and again. Allseasonsvacations.net. We'll see you at 4:31 this afternoon on Keys Talk.
Voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. No major incidents to report up and down US 1. Looks like we don't have any accidents to report in so far this morning. That is very good news. 70 degrees currently and sunny skies up to 76 for your high. Tonight's low 67, mostly clear. Tomorrow 75, sunny. Friday, 74 and sunny. The weekend, 76 and sunny. Slight chance of a shower on Sunday. And let me see, 78 for your high on Sunday. Nice weather indeed. We're going to say good morning to our friend John Pico. Well, where do we start, John? You are a financial advisor. You are a proud veteran, former fighter pilot, and now serving as the president of MAC. So we have a few things to explain and unpack there. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael. Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you. So, all right, so let's do a quick plug for your day job, your business. Let's do that first off. Some people do know you as a financial advisor here in the Florida Keys.
Sure. No, thank you for the shameless plug here. So I am the southernmost Edward Jones financial advisor here. The office is in the second floor of the Truist building, and I've been doing this for over 5 years. It's been a great opportunity to help the community, help our fellow business owners, and it's been excellent. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for your service to our country, John. You are a former Top Gun pilot, which is just as people understand it. Talk about that experience as well, please.
Yeah, so I joined the service at 17, enlisted, and went to college, became an officer, commissioned, and went through flight school down in Pensacola, and then spent 28 years flying most of those assignments, and then traveling in various other assignments overseas here and there. But did attend Top Gun. People always ask, is it just like the movie? And I'm like, it's exactly like the movie, except no volleyball, and and there's not a lot of free time. So but it was an amazing experience. My last 4 years were here in Key West, working at JIAD South, and so I know that mission as well, the counter drug mission. And then our family decided to stay here. We've been in Key West for about 10 years now.
Well, we're very glad you made that decision. Again, John Pico with us this morning, and we'll be talking about Key West MAC, which you are now the president of as well, empowering our armed forces, strengthening our community, dedicated to supporting the military and fostering a resilient community. Step into a world where commitment, honor, and community spirit converge. Yes, I plagiarized that from Key West MAC. So MAC stands for the Key West Military Affairs Committee. Some people have heard about it and see it in the news from time to time. But let's explain now that you're the president, following the big shoes of Abe Khan. You are the president of the Military Affairs Committee. What is it? Who's involved, and what are some of the initiatives that you do to further this mission?
No, thanks for this opportunity. So the Key West Military Affairs Committee, otherwise known as MAC, has been around for 60 years as of February 3rd, 2026. We just passed our 60th anniversary and super excited. And when MAC started, it was part of the chamber, and it became so large that it ended up splitting off and doing its own thing. So those original 24 members, chaired by a man named Bill Kroll, had very, very common, famous local names that we know: Ed Knight, Frank Topino, John Spotswood, John Koenig. I mean, these names, these were movers and shakers in the community. And the role back then, much like it is today, was to bridge the civilians with the military and essentially create as close a relationship and supportive relationship as humanly possible. That mission has stayed the same, but it's executed in various different ways along that 60-year timeline. Early on, it was started to help facilitate a better relationship between the Navy and the community back then. There were some tough times back then, and it did just that. Fast forward a number of decades, there was the military BRAC assessment, whether which airfields, which bases were going to get shut down, and MAC went into high gear to help support keeping Key West here alive and well. And to this day, I mean, we're working very closely with Captain Thompson and Rear Admiral Randall, Captain Empen from commander of the U.S. Coast Guard sector, and Lieutenant Colonel Pombar, the Army Special Forces Underwater Dive School commander. So we work very, very closely with them. Our members, this MAC team has grown tremendously. We're capped, interestingly to some, we're capped at 50 regular members. And if someone's spent 10 years with MAC, they can move to a senior membership section, which is unlimited. And we also have corporate sponsors, which is something relatively new. So I would give a shout out to our 3 corporate sponsors, and we're going to grow this big time this year. To Sloppy Joe's, La Trattoria, and Irish Kevin's are our 3 corporate sponsors. So we have guest speakers coming in. We meet once a month. But some of the things we're involved in, that impact the community. One of our largest is what most recently happened in January, and many will recognize it, but the Wounded Warrior Soldier Ride that came down January 9th and 10th. And these warriors are wounded, like it says, sometimes internal wounds, sometimes visible external wounds, and they bike from essentially Miami all the way down to the Keys, stopping along the way, cheered along the way by our local schools and our community members and businesses. And it ends up coming down here into Key West for just a huge celebration of their efforts and their resilience. And that's a really, really big effort for MAC. We're one of the sponsors. In fact, we're the main coordinator for that, along with many, many other organizations that help support. We also help support the Sigsbee Charter School. They work very hard to welcome incoming military students, as do other schools here locally. But that's Sigsbee's one of their primary focus areas, is to welcome military students. And what makes military students a little different is that, you know, they'll come and go throughout the year, and they'll only be there 2 to 3 years, depending on the assignment for their parents. And so, it's a little difficult for them to join, get some friends immediately, kind of thing. So they really work hard and have ambassadors, student ambassadors that walk them around, and they get a gift when they show up, and they're really treated very nicely. And that's another one of our primary efforts.
John Pico with us. He's the president now of Military Affairs Committee of Key West MAC on Good Morning Keys. And Key West is unique in many ways, but also it is very, very intertwined between the community and the military here. I was speaking with John Dick, who is the school board president here on the air the other day. He, of course, is a proud veteran as well. And there are a lot of initiatives and efforts that start at a very early age in our school district to try to instill patriotism and appreciation for our military. And it's partially because there are so many military families in the school districts and in our community overall. So MAC really is also very instrumental in helping, ease this process of assimilation and support those families.
Absolutely. I've been to, I think it's 54 different countries and all parts of this country. And I've never been to a part of the country more patriotic and more supportive of military and families. I mean, MAC and there are other organizations out here, Navy League and a number of others we work with, but often forgotten are the families as well. And the military members may go on deployment. They obviously need support, but it's the spouses and the children left behind that are trying to manage alone. And that's a key factor as well. It's really the military and their families. And this is what this town does best for sure. Super patriotic. There's always parades and flags and everyone's cheering, and it's a wonderful place.
Yeah, and MAC helps continue that tradition as well. So Key West MAC, Military Affairs Committee, on the mission to strengthen the bond between military forces and our local Key West community. So members in MAC and even the board members are not necessarily veterans or active military personnel as well. It's a nice blend of community leaders, business owners, some of whom have military service and some of them do not. Absolutely.
So our membership, in fact, we don't have any active duty members as a regular member. They are coming in as military members because they'll rotate through their assignments. And so they're, of course, not just welcome, they're integral to come to these meetings. And so we have our regular members, our senior members. We also have positional members, and those are whoever's in that position in town is invited to attend. And so, for example, Chief Brandenburg or the mayor, we have sitting judges. We have all these amazing individuals that are movers and shakers in this town that want to do everything they can to support the military and their families and bridge that, get that community together. So, and then we have the military side. So we have all the services represented, and they're there. And every meeting, we will award or present let's say, for example, a sailor of the quarter or a Coast Guardsman of the year. We'll present these awards, and we'll put those out on our Facebook site. So, but just to honor our active duty members and all the things they're doing. So that part's really important. We have the Military Volunteer of the Year Award. MAC will be presenting during the March Key West Chamber meeting coming up. So you'll see us everywhere. We go to many of the galas, all of the military balls. You'll see MAC tables there. We were just at the Benihana event supporting the Literacy Volunteers of America. We had 2 tables there. So MAC is very involved in supporting our other local 501c3s as well.
Yeah. Okay. John Pico. He is the current president now of Military Affairs Committee, Key West MAC, also a proud veteran, fighter pilot, Top Gun graduate, etc. As a quick aside, I think I saw you, I bumped into your family leaving the Maverick movie there. And you had been asked previously as to how realistic that was. And you made the comment that for those who have seen the latest Top Gun movie, that was actually one of the aircraft that you personally were a pilot in as well. So pretty interesting.
Very interesting to some, I guess. Yeah, when you do it for a job, it becomes a job, but it's certainly a good one to have. Everything's great until you start getting shot at. But as long as they miss, then the job gets pretty exciting.
Well, and you were not just on training missions, sir. You had thousands of sorties, did you not?
Thousands of sorties for sure. I mean, most of those training or in support of operations, but 80 actual combat missions. And those are the ones, you kind of remember those specifically because you're either, well, we can get into that some other day.
Sure. Well, we will. And only because I am so much humbled in awe and admire your service and those who have served. And I want to continue to support our military any opportunity we get here at Keys Talk as well. So we really are truly indebted and fully respect you and your fellow veterans and those who serve. So thank you very much, sir. We will continue those conversations at a later date. Military Affairs Committee, though, there's a lot of success stories. There's so many families who may not have had a positive experience in Key West and the Florida Keys were it not for the Military Affairs Committee.
Well, that's what we'd like to think. And, we're doing a big job this year being our 60th, getting the word out. I think certain people, know MAC. Other people may have heard of it. And there are many that don't even know what it is. So we're really going to do a big job in our social media presence to get the word out. And that's not something MAC normally has done in the past, sort of a silent support. But that's going to change a little bit going forward. Yeah,
I think the perception may be that it's something to do with the chamber, but we need to enlighten people and educate people as to the importance of MAC on its own and the accomplishments you have done. But there's still more work to be done dedicated to supporting our military and fostering a resilient community. That's what MAC is doing. You can find out more, KeyWestMac.com. But again, speaking with John Pico, the president of Military Affairs Committee, we want to thank you for your service to our country and to our community in so many ways, MAC being one of them. The board of directors and executive board of MAC, a lot of distinguished community leaders in business and in so many different facets of our community. We thank them for their service to MAC as well. John, I know you've got a busy day to get to and probably a lot of people who want your attention, but is there anything else that we should mention at this time?
No, Michael, I really appreciate the opportunity and just a shout out to the listeners. Your support, whether just the physical presence or donations to our effort, have just been tremendous. That goes directly to the service members and our effort to make sure that bridge is strong. Our corporate members and companies all around have helped with our annual golf tournament, our annual tennis tournament. It's just, there's so many people out here. If we thanked them, we'd be on here for 4 days, but you know who you are, and we really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Well, we will have further discussions for sure, John. We appreciate and always enjoy talking to you and seeing you and your family all over our community as well. So thank you once again for all that you do. We'll talk very soon.
Absolutely. Have a great one.
Yes, you do the same. John Pico with us from the Military Affairs Committee, Key West MAC. He's the president now. And of course, as mentioned, proud and distinguished veteran financial advisor as well. So do get to know John if you do not know him already. But chances are you do. What a truly incredible individual. We fully respect and admire John. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We'll be back in just a moment.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in store with 24 hours advance notice. And this Valentine's Day, pick up some sweets for your sweetheart and enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness for Valentine's Day or anytime with a gift card available for purchase in store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. Old Town Bakery, KeyWest.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-884-1012 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-884-1012. That's 800-884-1012. What do you have to lose? Call 800-884-1012. Again, 800-884-1012.
Being a small business owner isn't for everyone, but there you are, employing people, keeping customers happy. We tip our sunglasses to you. It's not easy. We got that. So when it comes to advertising your business and adding customers at Keys Talk 96.9 and 102.5, we'd like a chance to earn your business part of the Magnum Broadcasting family. Locally owned, locally involved, locally committed. The Magnum Broadcasting family of radio stations in the Keys. You know, we're small business owners just like you. And the last thing you need right now is another headache. That's why we've made it simple and easy to get on the air and add new customers. And if it's okay with you, we'd rather see you in person or talk on the phone. We can email and text later on if we make the cut. Call 305-296-9968. 305-296-9968. Thanks for your consideration. 305-296-9968. 9968.
It's time for a new point of sale system for your business. But you say, I can't afford a new system, so I'll just put up with another year of high processing fees and no service or support. Hi, I'm Mike Kraus, president of Sales Sense Payments and resident of the Florida Keys. And I'll give your business a free point of sale system. That's a value up to $10,000. All that we ask is that you process your credit cards through Sales Sense Payments. No gimmicks or contracts. After you and I meet for a consultation, which is also free, Sales Sense Payments will set up your business with the most cost-effective point-of-sale solution using more than our 25 years of experience and relationships with more than 20 vendors. Start the year off by saving money and processing fees with a free point-of-sale system from a local company that consistently delivers local support and transparency in the Florida Keys. That's Sales Sense Payments. Call me, Mike Kraus, at 305-723-1234 to get started. 305-723-1234 or visit us online at salessensepayments.com and check out our 5-star review on Google.
When you find out you're pregnant, everything changes. Every choice now impacts a child's future. Research has proven that smoking weed while pregnant can hurt babies. Cannabis passes through the placenta, leading to brain development issues, anxiety, poor academic performance, and physical problems at birth. Any use of THC while breastfeeding is also dangerous for babies. Your child or grandchild's future starts now. Don't put it at risk. Say no to marijuana while pregnant. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Good morning, Keys, on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And just checking your traffic here. No major incidents being reported up and down US 1 this morning. That is good news. Good looking day, a string of good looking days here, 70 degrees. Currently on our way to 76 and sunny skies. That's going to continue. First mention of rain is on Sunday, just at 20%. Again, keep in mind that there is a call for conservation of water. We are actually in drought conditions. Could lead to a scarcity of water. So please do conserve if you have the ability. Well, everybody has the ability to conserve water. So please do your part. We were speaking with George Garrett, city manager, City of Marathon earlier. He informed us he's got his cistern, which is operating and has been. So, anything you can do to help with the drought conditions that are happening in the Keys right now. We are going to say good morning to Mike Kraus with Sales Sense Payments of the Florida Keys here to serve you. Hi there, Mike. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you? Always excited to talk to you, my friend. How's life?
Life is good. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for all that you do here in the Florida Keys as well. I'm going to make mention SalesSensePayments.com is where you find out more about payment processing made simple. You and Christina and your team here in the Florida Keys providing local support and transparency for point of sale maintenance and upgrades and all of the things we're going to talk about. But Sales Sense Payments is more than just a credit card processing company. You have a lot of different features that you offer, but you also give back to the community in so many ways. And that's one thing that we wanted to start off with. You are going to be out and about at the Seafood Festival, Commercial Fisherman Seafood Festival in Key West this weekend. Also handling all the processing at the Marathon Chamber of Commerce Community Seafood Festival coming up as well. Those are two accolades that really do speak to your abilities and expertise.
Yeah, we're really excited always to give back to the community. Especially with the Seafood Fest this year, we're able to deploy all the credit card terminals that will be utilized at those events for absolutely free. So if you have a nonprofit or something that you need over the weekend, we're able to give you up to 15 terminals for your event. And actually, I'm dropping them off today to the Key West Seafood Fest, Sharon. And it's going to be a great weekend. They have over 80 vendors. Great bands, great lineup, and it's going to be a real exciting event. We're going to be at the event on site. We have a booth 80. It's in the corner, and hopefully we'll be able to stop by and come by for your free gifts. And we love being out. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely serving the community. You have been so involved here in the Florida Keys, again, in these two big events, but also giving back. As you spend so much time at different community gatherings in different organizations, Rotary being just one. And you have made it clear that you are committed to the Florida Keys and the betterment of life here beyond just helping businesses with their payment processing. Payment processing through Sales Sense, you're not going to pay for the equipment.
That's correct. We have a golden rule here. You never pay for hardware. And we're running a pretty aggressive promotion right now, up to $10,000 in hardware. Mm-hmm. So if you have a restaurant or a large business, we could pretty much do all of your point of sale equipment for absolutely free. And there's no contracts. There's no gimmicks. If you want to try it out for a month and then cancel, we'll part as friends. And that's one of the things that we do to help people, because hardware can be very expensive now. And that's one of the ways that we can help your business increase your technology. And also with near field communication. If you haven't updated your equipment yet with the Tap and Go technology or the Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, that's something that we have the terminals ready to go to do Tap and Go payments. And that's very popular right now.
It is, yeah. And there are a number of businesses that have not yet upgraded to that. And it seems like every day there's a new form of payment that people want to use and can be accepted. It's pretty important for a business to be able to accept those forms of payment.
Absolutely. I know I've been in the credit card payment business since 1999. And, we used to have equipment that would last 12 years. The VX520, great terminal out there that everyone saw. lasted 12 years. Now these credit card terminals last 2 to 3, very similar to your phone. And it's important to keep up with the hardware because the software updates will all of a sudden say locked out. And then that's the end of the road on that terminal. And then you, as a customer, as a business owner, then you got to go out and buy hardware. And that can kind of get annoying because that's another fee or another processing fee that you're paying on your business. So we're able to get rid of those fees for you with regards to hardware.
Yeah. Well, SalesSensePayments.com is where you find out more. Speaking with Mike Kraus, president of SalesSense Payments in the Keys. And hardware is very important. You have to keep up with that. But there are also instances where people get hardware, then they don't know how to use it. They don't receive training on it. Maybe something goes wrong. We've all been in a business when their terminals go down and they're scrambling to try to figure out how to continue to keep the doors open that day. Local support and transparency is also a very, very big process, part of the process with SalesSense Payments. If your point of sale system is something that you or your staff don't have training on, and don't have support and service on, well, it's just a piece of hardware.
That's correct. Yesterday, we were able to set up 2 customers. We were there and to train them how I deliver the equipment by hand. I set everyone up. We have a team meeting. If necessary, we can order lunch and we can make it pleasant and fun to learn about new hardware and equipment in regards to point of sale. And that's one of the real benefits of having someone on the ground here in Key West and the Florida Keys to help you understand that. Because as you know, when you live in the Florida Keys, people like myself are rare, and it's hard to have people here. And because of the expense and things like that, we all know that it's hard to keep employees. So we're able to be here in person, and that's one of our strengths. And also giving back so much to the community. Over the weekend, the Women's Club is having we have 4 terminals there. And if you're out and about, that's a great event that's going to be here on Valentine's Day weekend. So
actually, you dropped out just 1 second. So the Women's Club event, what is that event again?
It's on the 14th of, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Well,
and also something really excited that I wanted to share is that finally I have a SalesSense Payments baseball team. I waited many years, and we finally have a sponsorship down here for 14 and up. And they won their first game, and I was very excited to be there to see those kids. They're out there so aggressively, and I mean, if you haven't watched Key West baseball, it's something really special. There's over 500 kids that are out there, and at that age group, they're throwing 65-mile-an-hour balls, and it's unbelievable to watch if you haven't ever gone to a game.
Yeah, so I would never be able to compete even on the 14 age level, but that's great. Congratulations, and go SalesSense Baseball. That's a very cool thing. Again, another example of how you're committed to the Keys and to the community. SalesSensePayments.com online. Complimentary consultation available at 305-723-1234 to talk directly to Mike Kraus with payment processing made simple with SalesSense Payments. It is 305-723-1234. So you've got a busy weekend coming up here with the Seafood Festival.
We do. Christine and I will be there both days, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be setting up early. There's some great bands, and it'll be a lot of fun. The weather looks absolutely stunning. So encourage everyone to come out, and we're in booth number 80, and we'd love to see you and come by and chat about point of sale or just say hello. And also just underline, we're no pressure. I look at statements all the time, and I say, hey, you got a great rate, stay where you are. Or B, obviously we can save you some money, and we do complimentary statement analysis. So you can just send us a statement analysis just to see if you're within tolerance. If you're sneaking over 3% or so, it might be time to take a look at your statements and your fees. And also we talk a lot about passing the fee on to your clients, and we can easily do that for you as well.
Yeah. So then the merchant doesn't have the fees. They're passed on to the customers. There's ways to do that are perfectly acceptable and becoming even standard practice in the business. So if you are not up with the times as far as taking payments and point of sale processing, as well as your equipment, now is your opportunity to get up to $10,000 of provided equipment by SalesSense Payments. Go to salessensepayments.com or see them at the Commercial Fishermen's Seafood Fest in Key West this weekend. You and Christina celebrating Valentine's Day at the Seafood Festival. So
yes, we have moved our Valentine's Day date.
She's very understanding and very supportive of that. So that's a good thing. So yes.
But she did tell me last night, I'm going to be wearing a red heart jacket. I want to look like we're Valentine's Day. I go, do whatever you like. And so we will be Valentine's Day-ish at the event.
A Valentine's theme with SalesSense Payment. Come on down. And nothing says love like saving money on your processing fees and getting great service as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. That's where all relationships start. So.
No doubt. All right. SalesSensePayments.com. Mike Kraus, president. He again take full advantage of his commitment, his expertise, his relationships in the business with over 25 years of credit card processing. Relationships in the business, so many vendors that he has access to, and again, transparency and a level of service you will not find anywhere else. Give a call to SalesSense Payments, 305-723-1234, or text or go to salessensepayments.com. You have a terrific week and weekend, Mike. We appreciate all that you do for our community here, and we will talk again soon.
Sounds good. Happy Valentine's Day to you,
Thank you.
And your wife,
Thank
and also all the listeners. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I hope I do see you at the Key West Seafood Fest this weekend.
Excellent. Very well. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mike. You take care. Talk soon.
Thank you.
All right. Mike Kraus, president of SalesSense Payments, salessensepayments.com, 305-723-1234. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. By the way, you might need a break in these hectic times. Go to a sweeter, simpler time. You can harken back to when the bakery was the heart of the neighborhood. You remember going to the bakery as a kid and taking in the smells and the tastes, of course. Well, that still exists in Old Town at Old Town Bakery. You can go online and order for pickup or delivery, oldtownbakerykeywest.com, or better yet, experience the historic location at the corner of Eaton and Grinnell with Old Town Bakery. They start baking each and every day at 1 a.m. to make sure that you have the freshest, delectable delights for you and your family and your office and whoever else you want to share with. They make those fresh oven-baked breads that turn into delectable sandwiches, and those you will be astounded by. And now there's quiche as well, fresh-baked quiche available by the slice, ham and cheese quiche, the spinach and feta. It is all just incredible. Make sure that you take that in. You can order a whole pie of quiche should you choose. Just please do give 24 hours notice at the store so that they can make it up specifically for you, fresh and delectable. It's all oldtownbakerykeywest.com. Pick up a hot coffee, bring your dog there, and get bacon for your dog as well. They will love it as much as you do. It's all online. oldtownbakerykeywest.com. Platters for your next event, for your office or family get together, whatever it might be. Old Town Bakery, Key West. It is truly, truly delectable. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Getting set for Glenn Beck coming your way in just a few moments. Everybody's been riveted to a number of different big stories happening nationally and internationally. Glenn Beck will keep us updated on all of those developments and dive deep into some of those stories as well. Got Clay and Buck coming your way at noon. It is Sean Hannity at 3 o'clock. Drew Steele and Florida's Voice at 5 o'clock, keeping us completely updated on what's happening in Tallahassee with the legislature and around the state. 6 o'clock, Mark Levin, the great one. 9 o'clock, Jesse Kelly, Coast to Coast AM overnight. Always have breaking news. As soon as it happens, we'll bring it to you immediately on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Also, local, state, and national news is updated every half hour. Weather is updated around the clock, keeping you completely informed and engaged. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Have a terrific day. Thank you for listening.